Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with our new chapter, that is respiration in plants. So all the kind of living organisms need energy for carrying out their daily life activities. So why the respiration is required in plants also? Do they respirate? The answer is yes, they are respirated. So why? Our question is, why do they require respiration? So plants need their physiological activities, and in that they require the energy. So these energy supplement in the form of oxygen they required. So for this case, the cells of the plants that respirate, and particularly the organ required for this respiration process, is the stomata. So here the stomata, which will give the respiration process a hose. That means they do the exchange of the carbon dioxide and the oxygen. So for this process, all the energy required for life process, and it is obtained by the oxidation of some macromolecules, and that we call the food. So only green plants and cyanobacteria can prepare their own food. And we all know that there are two kind of the organisms that are here. That means one are autotrophs and the another are heterotrophs. So autotrophs do photosynthesis while the heterotrophs can't. So here all the non-green plants, or we can say the animals, are heterotrophic. That means they obtain food from plants. So we all know that directly or indirectly all the organisms like herbivores or carnivores, they require energy, and it is supplied in the form of food. So food, already we have discussed too much regarding this. The food contain the molecules, that means they are the compounds made of carbohydrates, protein, lipids, etc. So here the saprophytes like fungi are dependent on the dead and decaying matter. So what is important to recognize is that ultimately all the food that is required for life processes comes from photosynthesis. So we are discussing here that the plants, they are the producer, and they are having the particular system for photosynthesis. And in case of plants, it does not have any kind of the organ system, only organs are present here. So or the mechanism or breakdown or the food materials are doing within the cellular mechanism. So in this chapter it is dealing with the cellular respiration and the food materials within the cell to release the energy and trapping of this energy for the synthesis of ATP. So firstly would know the respiration. So how it comes, how the word came, etc. Photosynthesis, of course, takes place within the chloroplast, that means a breakdown of complex molecules to yield energy, and takes place in the cytoplasm and the mitochondria, and the breaking of carbon-carbon bonds of complex compound through oxidation within the cell, leading to release of considerable amount of energy, is called respiration. Here further, the breaking of the carbon-carbon bonds which will release some kind of the energy, and these energy which will utilize in the respiration process. The compounds that are oxidized during this process are known as respiratory substrates. So usually carbohydrates are oxidized to release energy, but protein, fats, and even the other molecules, they can't. So here the plants, we are lucky to have the plants as our producers because they are in abundant amount. Here each living cell in a plant is located quite close to the surface of the plant. This is true for leaves. So we'll ask that what about the thick woody stems and the roots? So as we earlier said, this stomata having the role for exchange of the gases. So what are lenticels? So in the thick woody stems and roots, in stems the living cells are organized in thin layers inside and beneath the bark. They also have openings, they are called lenticels. So what are lenticels? They are the small openings inside and beneath the bark of the stem. They are called as lenticels. So they also take a part in gaseous exchange. These cells in the interior are dead and provide only mechanical support. So thus most of the cells of a plant have at least a part of their surface in contact with air. So this is also facilitated by the loose packing of parenchyma cells in leaves, stems and roots. So which provide their interconnected network of air spaces. So as we all know, the combustion of glucose and how it comes, glucose comes from carbohydrates. So the combustion of glucose produces the CO2 and H2O. So in turn, it will give the energy. That means the combustion of glucose molecule in presence of oxygen which exhales out CO2, water and energy. So this energy is to be useful to the cell. It shall be able to utilize it or synthesize other molecules that this cell requires. So strategy that the plant cell uses is to catabolize the glucose molecule in such a way that not all the liberated energy goes out as heat. The key is to oxidize glucose not in one step but in several small steps, enabling some steps to be just large enough such that the energy release can be coupled to ATP synthesis. So how this is done is essentially the story of respiration. So we can say that in case of respiration, the glucose molecule combusts in form in the presence of oxygen which will gives out CO2, H2O and energy. So during the process of respiration, oxygen is utilized and carbon dioxide, water and energy are released as products. The combustion reaction requires oxygen, but some cells live where oxygen may or may not be available. So, we can think of such situations where O2 is not available. There are sufficient reasons to believe that for cells on this planet and this lived in an atmosphere that lacked the oxygen. Even among present day living organisms, we all know of several that are adapted to anaerobic conditions, and some of these organisms are facultative anaerobes while others require the anaerobic condition is obligate. So in any case, all living organism retains the enzymatic activities and the breakdown of glucose molecule is termed as glycolysis. So this process we learn in depth. So the glycolysis, the first step of glycolysis is what? It is the breakdown of glucose molecule into pyruvic acids. So two pyruvic acid molecules will be formed by breaking down of the glycolysis. Simply in Greek words, glycolysis, that means glycose for sugar and lysis for splitting. And the scheme of glycolysis was given by Gustav Emden, Otto Meyerhof and J. Parnas. So similarly, it is referred then as EMP pathway. So in anaerobic organisms, the only process in respiration, glycolysis occurs in cytoplasm of the cell and is present in all living organisms. So in this process, glucose undergoes partial oxidation to form two molecules of pyric acid, and in plants the glucose is derived from sucrose, which is the end product of photosynthesis or from storage of the molecule. So here, what are the respiratory substrates? The compounds that are oxidized during the process are known as respiratory substrates. So in this chapter, we'll learn about the process of respiration, how ATP is being utilized and how the respiration process occurs. So our question remains the same. Do plants breathe? So yes, the answer is yes, plants need breathing. But here it's having the no correct or the quite direct answer. So plants require oxygen for respiration and they will also exhale out the CO2. Plants have system to carry out the oxygen, but they do not have the particular organ systems like us, like we have nose, nostrils, etc. But plants do not. So here there are several other reasons why plants can respirate, etc. and what are the mechanism behind it. So mechanism behind the exchange of the gases is the stomata and lenticels. So there is very little transport of gases from one plant part to another. Second, the plants do not present great demand for gas exchange. They do not having the great demands. So roots, stems and leaves respire at rates far lower than animals. So only during photosynthesis they require the large volume of gaseous exchange and they will photosynthesize. Availability of oxygen is also there, so also they require the oxygen in this respiratory process, etc. So here these are the answers regarding this.